Dame is out with a blood clot apparently. That's kind of scary and crazy. But
Facts.
where do they go from here? You heard Giannis kind of saying earlier this year, I want all the European stars to be playing in some big cities. Luca is a Laker now, so what's gonna happen to the Bucks?
Man, bro, the situation in the Milwaukee is sad for Bucks fans and like the Milwaukee Bucks organization, bro.
Kind of
They
spooky.
made that trade for Damian Lillard, and it seems like Giannis and Dame are not going to be able to play with each other in the postseason. That's
Yeah.
crazy because I was reading stuff where it takes about 3 months for that blood thinner medication to kind of do what it needs to do. 3 months from now is what?
Three
June twenty
months?
seventh. Yeah,
Whoa.
it takes about 3 months. I don't know. That's why I was watching some doctors YouTube video who talks about like athletes injuries and stuff like that, and he was saying that the blood thinner medication takes about 3 months to be effective, right? Which I said,
Hmm.
which would be what, end of June, July, beginning of July. So I, I, Dame Lillard's not coming back this season. It'd be a miracle if he does. Like I was reading about the whole blood clotting thing, bro. That shit's scary, bro. That's
Yeah.
nothing to play with. Like the man can't even on the medication can't even like cut, like get a cut or anything because it could be fatal. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, I don't see him coming back to the Bucks this season. Who knows even if he comes to the Bucks next year? I don't know if that's conspiracy, but bro, the Bucks won the championship in 2021,
Hmm.
and nothing has come
Nothing
up. Like
since.
nothing since. Like not even. But at the same time, too, injuries have played a big part. Giannis has been injured. Like I think we kind of downplay how much Giannis gets injured. He gets injured a lot, bro. He's on the bench a lot.
Mm,
You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah.
But I guess maybe because he's a good guy, maybe he's likable and stuff. People don't really like poke at him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe because he's in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
People aren't watching Milwaukee games. They don't really know that. But yeah, he gets injured a lot, and like they weren't able to play him and Dame last year because he was injured. This season now,
Hmm.
Dame's out. Bobby Portis got that suspension for 25 games for accidentally taking that performance, whatever that banned substance or whatever you want to
They
call it. So
always love
like,
to blame someone else. Oh,
yeah,
someone else
I'm trying
gave
to
this
say.
to me. Like, come
Some guy
on.
gave it to me. I took it. But first of all, bro, I'm not just taking anything from anybody. I'm even my bro. I'm gonna be like, bro, like, what is this? Like, I'm not just gonna be
Yeah.
like, let me just take it. But whatever, we can't really fight that. But he should be back before the playoffs. Um, the only optimistic thing that I was trying to think about was that like when it comes to like offense, I guess for the Milwaukee Bucks side, at least it's going through Giannis. Because before,
Yeah.
sometimes you had like, okay, is it Giannis's turn to do what he does to kill the paint and blah blah blah. Is it Dame time right now? Like, what I'm trying to say. But I know it's Giannis's time, and I think everybody will fall better around him. And then, but even so, bro, I'm just coping, bro. Like that's just me coping. Like I'm not even. Like first round exit at this point. I don't, especially with like Giannis is injured right now. Like it's crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's looking mighty bleak in Milwaukee. You have, honestly, you'd be considered more of a. He is he's like number two in the league, like number second best player in the world, or top three.
yeah,
Between
yeah,
Luca and Jokic and Giannis, right?
yeah.
And it's easily forgotten because, as you said, he gets injured. He's sidelined a lot. You didn't I haven't couldn't tell you the last time I've seen him play. You know what I mean? No, I'm lying. I seen him play the other day against Phoenix, but I don't really watch game. Like I don't really see him playing too many games, and also just the fact that they made all these trades in the middle of the season. They get rid of their veterans, and you bring in someone like Kyle Kuzma, who's still young and he's probably not even in his prime yet. He's probably nearing his prime. So, but it's still not going to be enough. Like you're losing so much in Dame, and yeah, like it's going to be another disappointing year because Giannis has high expectations. You're saying that you don't think Dame will be there next year. Should you like? Why aren't you question? Are you questioning Giannis not being there either, or is that
But
something that?
a little bit of both. But I think the organization, I don't know if Giannis is the type of guy to go behind Dame's back or and say like, oh, I don't know if this is working, blah blah blah. I don't know if he would do that or not. But at the end of the day, we've seen what this team is in the regular season. Like, I don't think it gets better in the postseason for them because the problem is they haven't really they figure it out, but they don't figure it out. They figure it out, they don't figure it out, and that's what I
Yeah.
was saying. I was being optimistic about maybe Dame not being on the court was because at least they know, okay, this our offense is gonna go through Giannis. Um, like the Bucks should be a way better team, bro. Like we're talking about Portland, Damian Lillard coming onto this Milwaukee Bucks team. Imagine, like I don't know if you remember the optimism. Everybody was like, "Oh, NBA championship!" Like this is an NBA championship right
Oh
here
yeah.
because you have two 30 a point per night scorers on any night who can even give you 40 or 50 every night. But the only optimism we really had was when Adrian Griffin was the coach at the beginning of the 2023 season, but then got fired, and then your boy Doc comes in. He doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. So, like, how does this change next season? Even if Dame comes back 100% healthy next season and Giannis is back and stuff like that, Kuzma's here, like, you have a 8-year-old Brooke Lopez now, Bobby Portis. Like, what are you getting out of this? You're not getting much
Yeah.
out of this. And Giannis is only getting older. He's still a great player, still number 2 in the league for me, but he's getting older, which means every year he does go on the court, his value does drop, even if it's like just by that much. So I would say
Hmm.
if for Milwaukee, mail it in, bro. Mail it in. Giannis is still young. Giannis is still young, bro. Like I said, I this is just fantasy for me, just for me. But I was saying like if OKC has a very disappointing season, they have the draft picks, they have a 1-2 asset, go for Giannis. But then it might be the whole Giannis. Sorry, it might be the whole Dame and Giannis all over again. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Shea's a bigger guard. He plays better defense. Whatever. So but anyways, I'm just saying like it just doesn't make sense for them to come back, especially if you're keeping your boy Doc on.
I'm curious to know what the problem is because, you know, I can look at it from two different ways. I can look at Giannis being the problem because he's a one or two dimensional player, which is kind of problematic. Or you can look at Dame being the problem because he's a ball dominant guard. You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't like point guards that score more than 17 points. My point guard needs to give me
Unless you're Steph
15 and
Curry.
10. Okay, yeah, because yeah, he's
If you're
a
Steph
he's
Curry.
a he's a spatial player. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's actually
he's special.
crazy
He's
what he
different.
does. It's actually
Yeah.
crazy what he does. And I don't know, maybe Dame's the problem. Dame is the problem.
Damn! Oh.
Dame is the problem. Because Dame could do it. Like imagine if you swapped Dame for Curry. Giannis would have 45 points a game. You know what I mean? And it's not even a capability thing. It's a style of play thing. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
He's a ball dominant guard. Curry isn't. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
he could light you up, but he probably won't. Like, unless he wants to. Like, he does it when he wants to. Dame almost has to do it. Right?
Mm.
So that's the problem. Like Dame is kind of the problem there. You can't pair him with someone else. Like he's good when he was like the leader of the team and it was clear cut. You're gonna give him your he's gonna get you 32 no problem and get you pull some wins for you. But that's
Right.
all it really was in Portland. You know what I mean? He was scraping into the playoffs. I'm surprised they kind of worked with McCollum and Lillard for a little bit at least. Maybe because they were just two ball dominant guards and they just played the same kind of thing. So that style of play won't get you far, right? And
No.
as such a great player as he is, he has to be a little bit more aware of that before he ends up like someone like a Bradley Beal or Paul George. I could see that being his future if he doesn't smarten up a bit.
He's
So I
probably
think,
he's sorry to cut you off, but I think he's probably already one of those guys, just maybe on the
yeah,
higher end because like
yeah,
he can't be number one option for a championship team going forward. And even when you put
yeah,
him beside a great, because of what he does, it kind of diminishes everything else. And
yeah,
I think also too, like I will blame Dame, but also you have to kind of blame the coaching a bit too because they're not allowing
yep,
other guys to flourish. Some guys are
yeah,
just standing there, bro. Like it's
yeah,
hard to get yourself going when like it's
yeah,
Dame have the ball in his hand or
hmm
it's Giannis having the ball in his hands. But I don't know if you can recall, but like there's some games where Giannis is not playing and Dame is playing pretty well. Like he's playing
yeah,
pretty well because like you said, but I guess his style of play, sorry, is just it just doesn't work with other guys. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. Like no, I think like if Giannis is out and the Bucks are playing like the Indiana Pacers, bet an over for Lillard because he's gonna go for 40. Like that's a
yeah,
for sure. Like that, and I realize that like a lot of players like to do that, like to keep their averages high because when they see the Washington Wizards or they see lunch meat, you know what I mean? So they're like, okay,
yeah,
this is where I make my money. Like realistically, buckets for NBA players are worth like a one layup is worth like $5,000. So you have
Yeah,
to really be doing those, and they add up. Like you know what I mean. So if you score 10 more points on so and so team, like your average goes up a point two or point three. You know,
facts.
so yeah, Dame has to be a little bit more of a threat than a potential threat than the actual strategy. Like he needs to be more of a decoy. Is what I'm trying to say, especially when you're playing with someone like Giannis, because yeah, his style of play it won't get you far. It won't. It will not. Yeah,
And his defense too is he's not a
yeah.
he's
You're
so
already a liability.
yeah, he's already liability. Like you're already giving up points on the other end, and so like even if you give up 30 and you drop 30, it's just a wash at that point. It's not like there's
Yeah.
nothing. So now it's like whatever. What can everybody else do? You know what I'm trying to say? And
Hmm.
and sorry, a quick note. Like your boy Doc, he ain't going nowhere, bro. Because the man's even joking about like yeah, I may have given up 3-1 leads, but still got the three
Mm-mm.
wins. Like what, bro? That sounds like somebody, bro, that's confident in their job, knowing they're not going to get fired, or like you suggested, like last year, has something on the league or something, bro. Because
Yeah.
this guy's just toying with everybody now, bro. Like life is
Because
sweet.
they what was the record when they fired my boy Griffin?
I
They
don't
were
like
like
what was it?
30
What
and
was it?
3, bro. They were like 30 and
I don't
3.
know, bro. They were the record was crazy. They're like top two in the East or something like that, bro. Like it just didn't make sense, bro. It just didn't make sense.
Oh man.